Alrighty, hello people of the internet, I'm Soulrack Dragon and welcome back for more Fate Grand Order, where we are going to prove on to Act 19, Section 19, Part 19, Episode 19, whatever, it is number 19 of Lostbelt 7, Golden Sea of Trees, Nahui Mictlan. Before we fully begin though, make sure to subscribe down at the bottom so you know when each part comes out, and also just to show your support as well. So, without further ado, Act 19 is how many stars? 5 stars is Act 19. That should be doable. Starts off with a battle node, so we're gonna press the start button. Reflector is gonna crash, and we're gonna have to quit and restart because, yeah. I really hope future Lostbelts, or whatever is next, are not this impacted. Because it is annoying to a very high degree. It's a little bit off kilter still. There we go. Good. Alrighty. Resume from the start. Now, I was told there's going to be a lot of exposition dumping on me here, so... we're at the roots, I guess. We survived... Nope. Sup? Been a year since we last saw each other, huh? Still as blinding as ever down here, I see. You been good? O-R-T? Old pal? What am I saying? How could you be with your reactor ripped right out? I sympathize, man. It's gotta be rough being on death's door for 6 million years. But today's your lucky day. Break time's over. I'll have that wound of yours patched up in no time. Seba, the space tree at the heart of Mayan mythology, the 13-layer heavens and 9-layer underworld of Aztec mythology. The time's come to tear them all apart and destroy this planet, to rise up again from the depths of Earth and return to outer space. This pit, I can't even see the bottom. It's a coffin. And you say the weapon you need is sleeping inside, great Tezcatlipoca. Not so much as inside as below. Kemazot's the one who gouged out this hole. Even this island we're standing on is a part of ORT. In human terms, this would be the top of its head. Oh, that's terrifying. The bottom of this hole is connected to ORT's heart. See that giant tree over there on the opposite shore? That's Quasar, this Lostbelt's tree of emptiness. Well, it was anyway. 6 million years ago, the people of Khan sent ORT tumbling down here, after which the Mala put it to sleep. But right before they could, ORT pounced on the Tree of Emptiness in the 9th stratum, and devoured it. So now, even though the Tree of Emptiness is dead, ORT took on its functions. In proper human history, there's a parasitic fungus called the cordyceps that takes over its host's body. This is kind of the reverse. The foreign god Tree of Emptiness may be gone now, but thanks to ORT taking over, Mictlan is keep going as a Lostbelt. Yep, because ORT is capable of parasitizing and adapting itself to whatever it consumes. In this one instance, ORT being an immortal monster turned out to be a plus. Immortal? But you said it's dead now, right? Yep, it shut down after it was killed. No living creature can survive without its primary organs. Do we need to get Shiro Emiya in here to explain this simple concept to Izcali, that people die when they are killed? Well, get this, Izcali. ORT dies when it is killed. Shocking, I know. What happened afterward was different. It's a living creature, yes, but the biological concept of death doesn't apply to it. I told you about artificial organs, right? How they can replace organs that were lost from injury or illness. If you lose an arm, then you can get an identical arm transplanted. Tezcatlipoca, I don't think you quite understand how biology works. Because you can't just transplant somebody else's arm onto your missing arm. That doesn't work yet. If your organs rot away, you can get new ones. If your brain gets blown up, new brain for you. That especially does not work yet. Well, okay. We aren't at the point where we can create copies of brains just yet, but you get the idea. Okay, he realizes that, but we also cannot recreate limbs like that. Point is, when a human is in danger of dying from extreme damage to their body, they can be put back together. But once they do up and die, that is, once their bodily functions cease, there is no bringing that human back to life, no matter how well you put them back together. It's weird, right? Physiologically, there's no reason they can't start right back up again, but they just don't. You know, that is actually... Now that he's saying it, that is kind of weird. Like, you can... The arm from another person implant on your arm is just a lot more complicated because Ari is on the same location, as well as nerve endings and such. The nerve endings are another consideration as well, because I don't know if we're able to graft the nerve endings together yet. But, you know, Tezcatlipoca brings up an interesting point. Physiologically, like, the human brain is just a computer. Why can't it... Why is it that, you can't just restart the brain and restart all bodily functions and bring someone back to life? I mean, you can bring somebody back to life if their heart has stopped, but brain death... It's different. That is weird, now that you think about it. Is it because of how... It can't be how complicated the human biology is, because human biology is pretty well understood at this point. Once organic life forms stop functioning, even just once, that's it. They're dead forever. Machines, on the other hand, are free from that particular bit of weirdness. You can remove their power source, even smash them to pieces, and they'll still come back to life if you just replace their broken parts. You know how they say dead brain cells can never come back? The way I see it, what separates machines from living things isn't whether they're natural or artificial, or even whether or not they're intelligent. No, I think it all comes down to whether or not you can come back from death. Yes, that makes sense, great Tezcatlipoca. More than anything, it's wonderful to see you in such a good mood. Oh yeah, I know about the whole fingers being cut off thing. I do know that much. I'm pretty sure it would... if you had your arm severed perfectly, and it was able to be reattached, it might theoretically be possible to be reattached. It'd just be very difficult. You can't be alive without eventually dying. If we consider non-functional machines to be dead, then they are... That's why I said a perfect cut, essentially. Then they are alive too. But that doesn't apply to immortality. Anything that can't die isn't alive. It's more of a phenomenon. And that's what ORT is. It's a living creature that's practically a phenomenon. Death doesn't matter to it. As long as its body is restored, it'll pick right back up where it left off. What's even scarier is that ORT restores itself automatically. Since when humans get hurt, they do everything they can to heal themselves too. They can recover from simple injuries on their own, and as long as their society's functioning, they can pretty much get automatic assistance in recovering from major ones too. Up to a point, obviously. If their heart or brain is destroyed, that's it for them. But that's not the case for ORT. For ORT, everything from the cells in its toes to the motor nerves that controls its arms and legs. The heart that gives it energy, the brain that operates its body, everything is interchangeable. Every cell in its body is capable of performing any of ORT's various functions. Regardless of what part you remove, it'll eventually be restored. So I'm guessing that must be what the foreign god initially wanted to do. It wanted to essentially replace herself as ORT's brain, essentially. The only reason it's shut down right now is because the Mala pulled a great fast one on it. Whether we help it or not, ORT will eventually start back up again. It's only a matter of time. ORT is Wolverine? Essentially. It sounds like you essentially need to atomize it to get rid of it. David just had the idea of giving it a little present before that happens. We're gonna give this monster, who only knows how to destroy and leave for another planet when it either gets bored or receives new directive, an order. That's where you come in. You understand, right, Iskali? Yes, my body is 1 year Tezcatlipoca. You made me grow into a god so you could sacrifice my divine body. Exactly. Nice job. Anyway, No need to wait for David. Let's get started. Watch out below! Is that Talalak's arm? But why would only her arm fall from the ceiling? No. Possible, that can't be right. How the hell did this happen? What'd you have to replace to pull this off? Come on, Master of Chaldea. Tell me. Okay, that's interesting. So Nahui Mictlan protected us. That was a hell of a thing. Some giant arm came out of nowhere and grabbed us in midair then we fell for another 100 meters. That arm, did you save us, Nahui Mictlan? I was protecting myself. I just happened to see you guys too. Although... Uh-oh. Poor Iskali. Poor Iskali. His world is being shattered. You'd like to experiment on ORT. I think a lot of people would. I guess that might have made things a bit more awkward. Well, even so, thank you, Nahui Mictlan. Thanks for keeping us safe during the fall. I think our body's at its limit. Whether you still are our enemy or becoming our ally, I wouldn't try to move if I were you. And then there's... So that's this Lostbelt Street of Emptiness. The one ORT consumed. And that giant pin over there must be... This is the same scene I saw in Nahui Mictlan. Surprised to see you saving our enemies from a deadly fall, Hummingbird. You feel some kind of kinship with them after the battle? That's fine, as long as it works to our benefit. But I'm not really seeing the benefit here. Come on, Hummingbird. Give me the kind of rational answer I'd expect from an Aztec god. I see. We'll have to set our relationship aside for now. Better if I finish you off here so you don't get in the way later. Wait, Tezcatlipoca, there must be some kind of mistake. Tlaloc is the guardian deity of Mexico City, our god, the god of the Aklama. She would never save invaders from proper human history. Think so? Pretty clear to me she did exactly that. Besides, she's only ever protected herself. She's never defended you people. She's not your god, either. Has she ever so much as given the Aklama the time of day? She hasn't, right? She's a heroic spirit of proper human history through and through. She'd never throw her lot in with Mictlan's ape people. That's not true. Tlaloc may be a god of few words, but she's always been there for... you, Iskali. A human. You got it wrong, Iskali. I'm sorry, it's partly my fault. I'd forgotten what it was like to be young and look up to the gods. But Tlaloc isn't even her true name. Do you honestly think someone who's been keeping her real name a secret all this time was really opening up to you? Oh, so you realize she was hiding her name. You've always been a quick study, haven't you? Alright, now that that's all cleared up, it's time for a battle. Since you caught up to us, the only thing to do is to fight it out. No, Tezcatlipoca. Taking care of these invaders is my responsibility. A king's job is to kill would-be interlopers. I will make you sully your divine hands over this. A king's job, huh? Pretty sure we should already be past that point. Okay, I'll let you have your way one last time. Go ahead, knock yourself out. It's not like you're gonna die anyway. We'll see who's true. Master, almost no time has passed since our last battle. You need to keep your magical energy flow to your servants at a minimum. If he's the only one fighting, Habitat and I should be able to handle this. I know? This will be our first battle since Mexico City, Chaldea. It's a shame I didn't get the chance to kill you at Chichen Itza. At least I get one more chance. I will kill you and become Tezcatlipoca. The filth of proper human history has no place in this world. You're going to die here never knowing how foolish you were. Are you aware of your foolishness, though? Well, you're showing a lot more nerve than you did at the last time we fought. Is this the real you, then? The first few times we fought, you were desperate to save your allies' lives. Looks like you're entirely focused on your life and your enemy's life. All so you can protect your world and your place in it. I recognize that expression, the look of a man bent on destroying would-be invaders. I see now. Guess me working to revive a monster makes me the invader, trying to destroy the world. But so what? I don't want or need anything from proper human history anyway. Even though you're a human. What makes you say that? Is it because I look like you people? Because I'm the only Aklado who speaks your language? Or is it because I think the same way you do? Even if that's true, it's not a problem. Humans of proper human history are defined by their willingness to kill their own. I'll prove it right now. Let's see once and for all which of us hates our enemy more. The lack of music is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Buster... Do I have Buster and Crit? Let's see here. Critical strength up, Buster effect up. Do I have both? Crit strength. Oh, that's... You only give me one? That's weird. Crit strength by 20, Buster and NP, crit strength by 25, 4 stars each turn. That's not bad. I think that's fine for MASH. And then we'll bring the Meme Master, Mictlan, along. Do I want to go 20, 30, or do I go with the Meme Masters? So stars each turn, Buster and crit strength. Yeah, that's better. That's just flat out better. Let's roll. Okay, it's weird that there's no music going on. Is that normal? Does anybody know if this lack of music is normal? Let's get invincibility. We should have a mash smash turn next turn. Good. Yeah, this quiet is weird. A very weird quiet. BAB. That's one. Come on, we were ready to kill him. I could have killed him. Dang it. It's lame. Music's back, so it is definitely a part of the scene to have no music. Another battle node. Okay. Load, quit, relaunch. Burp, excuse me. Yeah, the lack of music was kind of freaky. You'd expect tense music, I suppose, from that kind of situation. But I'm pretty sure every other tense situation had music going still. So, just a little weird. Just a little bit. What's the matter, Iskali? Your heart doesn't seem to be in it anymore. Where's all that fury and bloodlust? Did Talalok's defection really get to you that much? No, Tezcatlipoca, they're simply stronger than I am. Even with only a few servants at his command, that master's forces are as formidable as ever. So you've recognized him as a fellow warrior. Fine. I knew this would happen. No human can compete with a servant. Still, that doesn't mean this was a waste of time. It's important to give things an earnest shot. Can't get close to them now. The smoke! The smoke! You had your funnies, Kali. Now it's time to fulfill your duty. Over the last year, we've been restoring ORT's parts with Dino Hearts, but they still just need a jump start. Light that engine up. It's time to offer your divine body the coffin and bring an end to Mictlan. What's wrong? You're just gonna let yourself fall into the hole? Sure sounds easier than fighting to death for me. To me. I can't do it. I'm not entirely sure why myself, but I don't want to revive ORT. Something tells me it would be wrong to let that happen. Please reconsider, Tezcatlipoca. I have no problem with destroying proper human history. But surely there's no need to destroy Mictlan, to destroy this planet. Iskali. Almighty Tezcatlipoca, I understand your goal isn't for us to achieve victory. As a god, your domain is destroying and rebuilding the world we live in. So then, once proper human history is gone and the Aklama's time truly begins, won't that qualify as destruction and rebuilding? You're right. I never expected to get a lecture here of all places. Iskali, no. Oh! Moctezuma, the last Aztec king of proper human history. Interesting. When you died back then, I couldn't help but wonder if you made the right choice in service of creating a new era. I figured the only way to find out was to give you another chance. Guess I felt sorry for you. I wanted to know what a betrayed soul would choose if given another chance. So this is the guy that Herman Cortez tricked. For the past year, you've done a fantastic job. Even as just a soul, you still passed the trials of Tezcatlipoca with flying colors. If you feel now that you can't go through with this, I have no objections. I've spent a lot of time and energy raising you into a heart fit for a god, but if you don't want to offer up to ORT, I won't. A human sacrifice that doesn't really want to destroy the world would never bring about the end of the world anyway. Then, does that mean... Yep, bye. Oof. Expected. Yep, that was expected. Tezcatlipoca wants to see the world burn. If you're going to tell a god what to do, you'd better be ready to put your life on the line. Those are the rules. Tanaka's not happy. Now then, I know it's kind of sudden, but I have a request for you, mage. As you can see, I'm kind of in a pickle right now since I can't use the product I was counting on anymore. But then I had a thought. What if I sacrificed the heart of a human who erased 6 Lostbelts instead? You're plenty used to destroying worlds. Your heart's too sweet for my taste, but I'm sure ORT wouldn't mind. I'd never agree to be your product. I see, and I guess I'll just have to win you in battle instead. Okay, enough talk. Since you went easy on his collie, you should be plenty rested now, yeah. Battle mode. Come on, hit me with everything you've got. I'll crush you in my jaws. Okay. So, if this is like the last time we fought him, then he is presumably going to do the old switcheroo swap on us again. In which case, we need to have our true servants in the backline, or our true offensive power, rather. We need us Taira no Kagekiyo. She's pretty far down here. I'm actually going to see between Taira and Uris, because people were saying Uris last time as well. So, Death Resistance, Grudge of Vengeance, Evasion, Inflict Curse. Remove buffs. That's why you were heavily recommended. Because you can remove... Because if this is the same fight as before, then he's going to have invincibility, I believe. He had weird invincibility as well. It was like every turn or something. Evasion, Inflict Curse, Death Success Rate. Do you also... No, you just inflict death. So I guess the Uris was more of a meme. So we will bring Taira. K-Scope to start. Cass and Scotty in the back line as support for Taira. That's 100% NP. Then we'll bring Waver along. And it's a shame Summer Scotty has not been leveled up. I don't think she has, at least. Let me check. Pretty sure she hasn't. She's a ruler. Yeah, Summer Scotty has not been leveled up yet. That's a shame. Merlin's the only real support other than Hans, so Merlin. No CEs on any of the backline supports. Hopefully we won't need to use them. Let's roll. Ooh. Good elbow pop. Yep. Infecting. Yep. I expected that, though. You inflict terror. That's annoying. Okay. Do that. Decreases defense. That's not needed. Guts and death resistance, sure. 3-turn attack boost, sure. Okay. Bump, boop, beep. See if we can't break this first bar in one go. Right, the woos. I forgot about the woo! Okay, we broke the first bar. Scotty is stunned. That's annoying. Oh, this is a permatear. Oh, you also... You fully charged, but you didn't NP me. Okay. 202,000. What did you debuff me with? Buff success rate down. That is a lot of buff success rate downs. Please hit. Okay, it hit. That's what we needed. Do I throw the invincibles on now? I think it won't hurt. Do that. Get more stars for next turn, which I believe should be a Brave Chain for Tyra. So even if Castoria is stunned, we should be fine. Another break. There we go. Tyra is rinsing him. My goodness. Nobody's stunned. Excellent. We'll charge again. Summoned Axolotl. Fairly weak ones, though. Okay, how many moves do you get, dude? That was a ridiculous amount of moves he got. Good gracious. Okay. Bop, boop, bop. Okay, we got that bar. Still has 2 more bars, and I am out of buffs. There goes... Actually, no. I just got my other NP. Nice. Actually, if MASH comes in... Did you get too excited? No. If MASH comes in... Okay, it's Merlin. No. Oh. Okay. I was gonna say, if Merlin didn't have but a 30% charge and we needed a 40, I needed Weaver to come in. I got lucky as frick. Why is... I'm not gonna question it. I'm just happy that it succeeded. I'm happy we got the kill. That was so much easier now that I know how to deal with his ass. It's no use. We can't hit him or charge up energy, and there's no end to his attacks. He's not crazy strong or anything, but I just can't see a way to beat him. But I did beat him. I beat his ass. I'm so sick of everything we try failing. This is looking really bad, Soul. The smoke isn't just blinding us, it's a manifestation of his authority over probability fluctuations. The attack's not hitting him is the least of our worries. At worst, we could beat him, and then it wouldn't even count. There's literally no end. We'll never be able to finish this battle unless we can clear up the smoke. What can we do? Firing the black barrel in here will bring the whole cavern down on top of us. Barrel's power in a smaller area. That'd be useful. Alright, the Axolotl as well. I can't hold the enemy's reinforcements back. The way things are going. Explosion. What the? That lightning. You again. What's the meaning of this foreign god? Oh. Okay. Please don't bring the cavern down on top of us. Mwahaha! My hands must have slipped. Sweaty as I'm getting in here. But hey, what are you gonna do when it's so hot? It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the president. No, it's Director Olga Marie. It's you, Olga. Mash. We gotta... It's not... I don't think she remembers being the director. Whether or not she actually is the director or not is still up for debate, too. So... Another battle node. Start. And reset. And realign. Come on, flip my phone. Flip, thank you. And... looks good. Continue. Resume from the start. Gosh darn it, I was drinking water. Mwahaha, my hands must slip, blah blah blah, that same lines. I simply do not believe this environment is hot enough to make you uncomfortable, nor do I believe you're capable of sweating. I have sweat glands just like everyone else. I always get a little sweaty when I'm in a bind. Dot 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 dot. Senpai, Da Vinci, that lightning strike came from Olga Marie. Yeah, that's Earth's president for you. She must have been watching things play out and just couldn't take it sitting down anymore. I can see Father Kotomine up near the ceiling wall, too. As I would expect from a staunch pacifist, he's completely outside of combat range. What's Cuckoo Luck doing? You're her greatest enemy. Shouldn't you two be off somewhere fighting each other? Anyway, stay out of this beast. Can't you tell I'm testing these people to see if they're true warriors? Besides, I thought you were done pretending to be human. Didn't you already ditch Chaldea? I was just out on a little jaunt and I happened by. Certainly didn't expect to see you here. It seems your hideous earthlings just can't get enough of killing each other. And for the record, that was just my way of saying hello. I wasn't trying to save anyone or anything like that. Huh? She's being soon. I see. Well, I'm glad to hear you two are still some good friends. Chirp. That said, the heart can be fickle. Even the smallest thing can grow into an impassable rift. So if you need to ask something, then ask it. If you need to apologize, then do it. Once you've grown distant, nothing you say will ever bridge that gap. Every encounter in this life is precious. When you get an opportunity to talk, you can't be afraid to take it. Chirp. Wise words from a Benienma. 3 times you saved us. Thanks. I'm sorry for not saying something sooner. It's fine. Water under the bridge. Well, lava under my cloak. In this case, that's why I'm blushing, you know? It's because it's so hot in here. Oh, she is blushing, isn't she? More importantly, do you know why I helped you? Of course I do. Because we're friends. Then let's go, Master Chaldea. You two, servants. You're probably not going to make any difference, but that's fine. Just give it your all you've got anyway. Right, Mash Carolite of Chaldea. Glad to fight by your side. Okay, so Mash must be near the start. We're presumably up against Tezcatlipoca again. Forgive me for not taking this, generosity of you coming to help us. But I kind of think I already had a good thing going if we're just taking him on again. So, Tyra with K-Scope. Scotty with her CE, and Cass with her CE. There we go. Oh, you know what? We can afford a waiver with his CE, too. Nice. Okay, let's go. Let's take down Tezcatlipoca for good. He's got a lot more HP, though. He's got a lot more HP. We get a Brave Chain right off the bat, though, which is nice. Damage buff. The Grudge. And the Arch Card Effectiveness probably isn't going to do much, so do this. QBA. So we're gonna do about 200k, I think, so this will take a bit more than normal. I meant 200k total, by the way. Damn, that's not good. Did he just say call me? Because if so, that's hilarious. I need to swap. Because double stun on those two hurts so bad. Swap out Cass. Because those invincibilities suck. Okay. So this should be first bar. And then it's just last bar, and we should be good. Should is the operative word here. You can multi-stun. That sucks. That's stupid. That is so stupid. Wow, that's an eventful turn for me. That is so dumb. First Sun Balba. The wind is out. Heart of the mountain. Easy mirror. Owner of heaven and earth. The first sun dies here. That's a pretty metal NP, not gonna lie. Oh, we got lucky that Tyra survived. We got lucky. She is not gonna survive another round, though. In which case, we need to prep a little bit. Do that. Beep bop boop. Right, Mash had the invincibility pierce. I was about to say, oh shoot, Mash isn't gonna do anything. Oh wait, Mash has the invincibility ignoring capabilities. Good. Now we are in a bit of an issue area, because we have no NP to pierce this invincibility with. Shit. Unless... just short. That had 5% more onto it, we would have had this. Mash, draw, focus. Damn it. Super damn it. What the frick is this? You summon shit? And you just sealed everybody's NP. What the frick? You never did this before, Tezcat. Never. And now we're about to be NP'd again. That. 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 We could be in trouble here. Depending on how much damage Tezcatlipoca's NP does here, we could be in trouble. I completely forgot. I didn't even see that they had target focus on them. Fuck. Oh, he got NP sealed. That's so lucky. We got so lucky with the NP seal that I wasn't even paying attention to. Not that it matters, because we... Nice wins come this our decisive battle. But yeah, not that the NP seal does much. BAQ. Okay, that's good. It's still a question of, does Uoda Marie have the survivability against whatever he's about, against his NP? I don't know. No. Fuck. Leyline Stone. Thank goodness we have those. I mean, if you don't use them, you lose them. That's all I can say on the matter. Is it a little cheap? Perhaps, but is what it is at this point. It is what it is. We got it in the end. I think the multi-stuns, the fact that Terror lasts for apparently endless, that is so cheap. That is a cheap way to force difficulty, is just randomly stunning the player's team. Very cheap way to do it, is all I'll say on the matter. We got it in the end, though. Thankful for Leyline Stones. Thankful for those, indeed. Excuse me. Alright. Excuse me. Why did they make sword clashing sounds when nobody has a sword? We beat him. He's disappearing. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. Now that was a great victory. Not that it was any surprise since you had me on your side. Now there's no way for ORT to be revived. Is that true? It is, young miss. That is why I told you that helping them would only be to your detriment. Now the 6 months you spent carefully biding your time here in South American Lostbelt were all for nothing. Good, Rasputin. This is fine. More than fine, in fact. It was my plan all along. At any rate, there is no way for it to reboot ORT now. Neither Iskali nor Tezcatlipoca can be used as sacrifices anymore. Mesoamerican sacrificial rituals call for a still beating heart. Their plan to use a divine heart to jumpstart it is. Yep, ORT can't be woken up with either a reluctant soul or a damaged heart. If we tried, we wouldn't be able to give it an order. It'd just gnaw on Earth for a while and leave. Not about to sacrifice for nothing. I'm just gonna admit defeat and bow out. That's all I've got. It's up to you now, David. Knock yourself out. I'll see you again in the paradise of the dead. I knew Caddock didn't do it. I knew it. Caddock is pathetic. He can't even stop. Use them so I could beat them with Bond farming team. Ah, the Leyline Stones. Gotcha. That's fair. Another battle! More foreigners! Oh boy, more foreigner class enemies. Launch, restart, relaunch, readjust. And flip. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. I can smell my dinner. I can smell dinner is getting close to being done, too, so I do... This might be the last set. This might be the only other arrow we do today. It's weird. I was about to say it's weird that it's playing the themes... the entry music for this scene, but... So you defeated Tezcat Lapoka. I figured you would. Also, different perspective of David here. I gotta say, this one looks a lot more badass. But actually seeing it is still a shock. Now I feel bad for bragging about being more experienced than him when it came to underworld pilgrimages. Not another step, David. I have no reason to stop. If you want me to stop, you'll have to stop me. I only just got to this island. ORT's coffin is behind you. Just 20 meters as the crow flies until this planet breathes its last. I have everything I need to activate ORT. Are you really trying to destroy Earth? You're from proper human history, too. What possible reason could you have to want to destroy your own world? A good one. It's why I infiltrated Chaldea in the first place. Infiltrated Chaldea, huh? All that aside, you say I'm from proper human history? Do you agree with that, Soul? Do I look like a human from Earth to you? I don't know anything about you. I see. That's the same boring answer I've been hearing for a while now. Sorry, but I don't really have time to waste. I barely have a minute left today. I cut Caddock's team to mincemeat. Time to do the same to yours. Are those servants? But I thought you couldn't summon heroic spirits. He didn't. Those aren't heroic spirits. They're not even life forms from this universe. They're terminals from a dark star that was blasted 14 billion light years away during the Big Bang. A place outside the whole universe. But how? Those radio sources are from 14 billion light years away. That's way too far for even light to reach this planet. How in the world is he connected to them? Still a foreign god in spite of everything, huh? I'm impressed you understood what these things behind me are. Still the foreign... Okay, so a couple things to digest here. He can summon aliens from beyond where it should be feasibly possible. Still the foreign god after everything. So I wonder if that means this is actually Olga, and the foreign god is just a persona. Then again, you were always smart, Olga Marie. You only paled in comparison to your predecessor because he was so absurdly talented. But an incompetent could never run Chaldea. That you managed to do so at such a young age is proof of your talent. But you were unable or unwilling to trust your own abilities, which led to discord with those around you. On top of that, you had Lev Leineur manipulating you. He made you dependent on him, and pushed you to put up walls to keep everyone else out. At that point, Goetia's trickery and the Demon God Pillar's plan was completely airtight. But what was arguably even more miraculous is the emotions Lev Leineur directed at you. If it hadn't been for those, we would have had no way of turning things around. Back then, when King Solomon... No. When Goetia and the King of Demon Gods incinerated humanity, he also created humanity's greatest line of defense. You talk as if you know me too, huh? Well, who cares? It doesn't matter. Let's do this, Soul. Mash. If we let him get any further, it's over for us. Come on, this is the last battle. Don't hold anything back. Right, we may not know who or what David really is, but we can't let him revive ORT. We'll neutralize him here and now. Right, somebody said he's like an infinity mirror. David is an infinity mirror. The more fighters you... The more shadows he calls upon in response. The greater the fighters or the more fighters? Why'd that skip option just gray out there? Briefly. I could have swore it was a Resh for some reason. But no, it was Camazotz. He said he's an infinity mirror. So it's either the more or the stronger. More or the stronger. Cass. Try this. It's against what I would normally do. I would normally bring Ultra Ego in and just go smack, but... 3 enemies out here. Okay. Break bar enemies do 2 break bars. Low HP though, so Caddock's not gonna make it. That's fine, you don't need to apologize. Everything ends here, remnants of Chaldea, as well as the foreign gods' plan. Now, let's begin the transmission. I can't even tell what those silhouettes are. Are they foreigner servants? Angel relics. Okay, that's an interesting name for these creatures. What do they have on them? Quasi-stellar signal. Low chance to inflict electrify. What the frick is electrify? Burns target. Low chance to inflict electrify or burn when attacked. Increased burn quasi-stellar signal. Increased burn infliction rate. Increases with the number of battle enemies at the start of battle. Okay, increased damage dealt. Okay, I chose properly here. Okay, think. Process thoughts. Best way forward is what? There's only these 3. I have no idea if these things are technically threats against humanity or not. B. A. Q. Come on, crit. No real crits. Sadness. I think they are. Remove buff. And you ignored... Son of a... I think they are. Yep, that's Abby. I can see it now. Okay. Olga has her NP, right? No, she does not. Damn. The buff removal sucks. Let me just say that. It sucks royally bad. Let's see if we can't put one down. Copies Abby's attacks. Yeah, I'm trying. 1 billion light years. Crit rate up. Lovely stuff. Boop, boop. Okay, 2 of them are broken. Okay, this one's on its last bar. That's a lot of health. Lightless Realm. Stop removing my buffs! Beyond Outer Space. What buff is that? Stop giving them buffs, David. It's not fair. Resistance to all attacks and remove debuffs at the end of turn. Okay, do that. And then Brave Chain on this Angel Relic. Good. Olga Marie's not got much life left in her, unfortunately. Stop saying 6 billion light years, David. It's freaking me out, man. Process thoughts, think. Burn them again, and mash Brave Chain. Yeah. And then... BAQ. Shoot, I meant to target the silver angel relic. That's my fault. $13.5 billion light years. Ignore invincibility, why not? Sure, why the frick not? Yeah, there goes the debuffs. Now we do this. And this. And this BAQ. We're just not hitting that hard. We might end up needing to use a ley line stone on this one as well. Burst. You son of a... Okay, so their NP is essentially just their extra attacks, I think. Not good. This is no bueno. They do have ignore invincibility, so there's no point in throwing Castoria's skill out. Her NP is another story, though. Heal Mash. It's not much, but it's something. BAQ. 6,000 point crit. That is not a lot. Okay. Just for the arts boost that'll provide. Do that. This is a tough one, honestly. This is a tough fight. Okay, we got one. They don't all have like Pierce invincibility. That was a temporary thing. Okay. Keep that charge up going here. I need a mash Buster starting Brave Chain. At least David is not buffing them anymore. That's why I'm hitting so much harder. Okay. This is not impossible anymore. In fact, I'm going to not even worry about the first skill, because we got this. Good. Okay, now we go all ham. Bump. And that should be fine. BAQ. Smack the angel relic. That's not a lot still. I thought I was doing more damage, but I guess... Oh wait, you gain damage resistance on break, don't you? That's what it was. You gain a damage resistance on break. Right. Damn. That was my bad. BAQ. Keep our own defenses high. There goes Cass. It's a mash solo now. BAQ. I can't even tell which foreigner that is, honestly. BAQ. Good. Alright, that was honestly pretty difficult. That was honestly a pretty difficult fight, having to use so limited resources as we did. Okay. Of course, that didn't actually happen. You, Olga, did not do that. Is he just walking past us? As battles are fought around me, I take slow, deliberate steps through the gaps. Or perhaps I should say, rifts in time and space. I weave my way through the seams between minds. I can see the answer before me. The nearby scenery stretches out like overcooked taffy. My mind turns back to the series of events that brought me to this decision. Exposition dump? Question mark? Yes. The father wasn't a mage. He was just another researcher devoted to projects relating to the Semitic peoples. Actually, calling him just another researcher doesn't do him justice. He excelled in every regard: imagination, focus, tenacity, and above all, his knack for finding miracles. The result of his research even rivaled those of mages from prestigious families who had spent hundreds of years cultivating their magical circuits. One day, after an extended period of fieldwork, the father found what seemed like an ordinary wooden ring. But on closer inspection, it was revealed to be an angel relic that was impossible to see through. You didn't need to be a mage to understand that it didn't belong on this planet. You could just feel it in your bones. The father was given his own laboratory, and from that day on, he became the angel guardian, the angel relic's supervisor. The relic remained inscrutable despite countless attempts to analyze it, and no matter what was done to it, it didn't change in any way. In the 20 years since the creation of the laboratory, the father was blessed with a son, now aged 10. David backstory. On that day, the father invited his son to the lab. This was not a moment of carelessness. Rather, he had determined the relic was a gift from the gods, and that would never change anything. It was then that light poured from the relic. It was waiting. 0.2 of a second later, a moment which seemed to stretch for eternity, the father was gone from this world. His name, his accomplishments, the memories people had of him, they all vanished from every record in the world. That's terrifying. It was as though he had never existed at all. The only proof that someone had once been there was the human-shaped shadow burned into the floor. Dad. The boy clearly saw what happened. He knew that the shadow burned onto the floor used to be his father. That his father was no longer alive, that he himself was unhurt, and... Because he had been present as well, he also disappeared from the world, just like his father. In science fiction stories, there are typically two types of transporters. The first sends people to various destinations by linking different points in space. The second deconstructs people at the atomic level, then reconstructs them at their destination. The latter is currently believed to be more realistic, though it comes with grave moral, ethical, and philosophical concerns. To deconstruct a person at an atomic level is to effectively kill them. True. Even were someone identical to them in every way appear at the intended destination, the question remains whether they would be the same being they were prior to that process. The boy loved movies, so he quickly realized what had happened. He knew that the thing staining the floor was his real self, and the one thinking these very thoughts was something else entirely different. Okay, so the original David died that day. Well, he didn't even die, he was erased. And a new David was reconstructed. Notably, no matter what was attempted, no one was able to remove those stains from the lab floor. According to the Dean, the stains were still alive even now, and would remain forever so, even beyond the heat death of the universe. That's dark. From that day on, no one ever set foot in that lab again. Just left the relic there? After a thorough inspection, the matter composing the boy's body was determined to be identical to before the incident. He retained his memories and personality and seemed completely unchanged from the boy who he used to be in every regard. Even so, the boy knew better. He knew something about him was different. Nothing he did make him feel like he truly existed in this world. Spending time with other people did nothing to reassure him that he was among members of the same species. He's not an Earthling anymore. That was what the mages of Brish-San, the Department of Folklore, thought. The boy saw no reason to disagree. The boy no longer saw things from a human perspective, nor did he feel close to other people. All that was left behind was the stain on the lab floor. Even so, the boy still saw himself as part of humankind. After all, even if he didn't feel that way in his heart, his genetic makeup was still unmistakably human. So though he could no longer see himself as human, he reasoned that would be fine as long as he followed humankind's rules, their prime order. So then, what is humankind? How did the boy define it? Though that question had plagued countless over humankind's existence, the boy's own answer came from his father. People may be all different races and colors, make all kinds of mistakes, but deep down, they're all the same. Humans intrinsically want to do good. Nobody has to teach them that. They instinctively seek it out, the same way insects are drawn to light. I could see that logic. And so the boy went on to spend 8 years in Brish-San. That was when he learned he had been afflicted with a peculiar ailment. The boy's memory, his means of recording information, was different than it had been prior to the incident. He could now only store 5 minutes worth of information in a given 24-hour period. This meant for him an entire day consisted of no more than 5 minutes of events. That's honestly terrifying. That is good. That is straight up horror material. To only ever be able to remember 5 minutes of any given day. At first, he didn't notice this because this new ailment had no effect on his daily life whatsoever. The boy had now seen firsthand that the information people needed to remember over the course of a day could be condensed into a span of 5 minutes with nothing of value lost. That's a very inhuman mindset. For him, where each day was now compressed into 5 minutes, normal people who possessed all 24 hours seemed to be living in a much gentler state of time, with much of it wasted. This is who the boy was now. David, living each day one tiny bit at a time. That was the creation of an empty, Semite relic that had been passed down to him. Before he left Brish-San, David determined the conditions necessary to activate the Angel Relic. An entire day must go by in which no one within a 20-kilometer radius dies. That was the true identity of the ring filled with malice for civilization, the ring that had erased the boy and his father from Earth. That is a very interesting effect. A very interesting effect. I'm glad you decided to come. Welcome to Chaldea, David. I heard Chaldea was studying something fascinating, something that concerns my career as well. So you need a way to precisely observe the universe, one that doesn't exist in modern technology. That's right, or at least the appearance of one. Ideally, I'd like it to be as elaborate as possible. I don't need it to be able to observe anything outside the universe. A 13.8 billion light-year range will do. Your opinions here will be incredibly informative. I hope you'll agree in helping us preserving humanity. Preserving humanity, so verifying or determining the future. That's definitely a good order, but what exactly does it involve? Well, so you can already see that much. Alright then, I guess I can tell you. But please, don't tell your other teammates, okay? So that's my objective. If you have any concerns, please speak your mind. None for the moment, but it does seem like the odds of this succeeding are extremely slim. The chances of the mages at the heart of this plan surviving are especially low. Too low. The mages at the heart of this plan? Any who learn the truth are bound to try and kill them. That includes the world's own counterforce. None aside from Wodame and I would survive. What is he talking about? That's why I'm keeping it a secret from everyone. The Mage Association, your teammates at Chaldea, the whole world. When it comes time to restore humanity in the inevitable singularities, the mages of Team A will not be masters, but cryptors. I hope you'll keep that in mind. That was when the boy decided his own order to stop Chaldea's plan, even if it meant destroying the planet. There's something greater going on here. Davidson Void very literally looks at things from a universal point of view. He is neither a pawn of the foreign god nor an agent of humanity. Humans as a species are defined by their intrinsic desire to do good. No need to teach them how. It doesn't matter if their efforts make anyone happy. It doesn't even matter if the drive to do so is no more complex than the instinct of a cold-blooded insect. What did Marisbury plan? What did he plan that was so great that David decided he needed to stop it? There, finally, that's the last of them. Where's David? In front of the coffin, you were 2 seconds too late, Da Vinci. 1 second's all I need. Nothing and no one can avoid my plasma. What? He can't be tougher than a servant. Something's going on here. There's a reason the foreign god's attacks won't work on me. And that reason is because you're an angel relic. As you can see, I have her heart? What the fuck? Also, this is a metal as fuck. This is going to be the thumbnail for this one, since this section is all about David. He's getting the section 19 thumbnail. What in the world was that thing that attacked me looked like? It looked like a human, but it definitely wasn't a human or heroic spirit. It seemed more like it was made up of pure condensed energy. I got so annoyed I wound up defending Chaldean's ship this time. Next time I see that thing, I'll pay it back in spades. Oh, I'd better rest up for a while. I wasn't expecting to use so much energy. Bet I knew this was gonna happen. I bet I knew this was gonna happen, President. Tezcatlipoca. You're the cryptor's servant. Sorry about the ambush, but I'm taking this back with me. See, my partner insists he needs to transplant your heart into his own body. Even I don't want to touch this thing, but once he makes up his mind, there's no stopping him. Still, it'd be a real pain if you try to get it back, so I think I'll just kill you now and be done with it. Curate, indeed. She did say he killed her before, didn't he? See, no wonder I'm so weak now. One of Tezcatlipoca's best tricks is pulling out living hearts. Of course, I figured the foreign god would be able to regenerate a destroyed heart. So I disguised its absence by keeping it in working condition and continuing to send biosignals, making your body think it was still there. I thought that would only fool you for a couple days, but amazingly you never did figure it out. But now I see why that is, Director Olga Marie. You decided you would rather stay weak. You thought that way you would be able to stay with Soul and Chirolite forever. What a foolish dream. David? You're too late. You lost the moment you decided to fight me. One last thing. I'm ready to answer your first question now, Chirolite. My goal is to maintain order. I've determined that would be a good thing for humankind. When all 7 Lostbelts are excised, Marisbury's goal of preserving humanity will be achieved. What the frick are you talking about? Once that happens, Earth's humankind will be despised across the surrounding 13.8 billion light years as the worst, lowest forms of... What the fuck are you talking about? So I'm going to destroy Earth before that happens. That's the only way to stop Chaldea. Or rather, the only way to destroy the thing behind all this. Chaldeus. The foreign planet. Did you just say Chaldeus? Chaldeus is just a miniature model of the Earth. It's not a foreign planet. The two may look identical, but the original Earth is right here, so Chaldeus must be a different planet. The foreign god was born inside it, and the plot to beach the Earth was hatched inside Chaldea. Olga was sent into Chaldeus, wasn't she? Lev literally sent her soul into the burning form of Chaldeus. Those of us on Team A are pawns gathered solely for the Anospheric Grand Order. Caldeus was already destroyed. No, Anastasia didn't destroy it, she protected it. Why do you think she was chosen for the attack on Chaldea? It was to make sure Caldeus would be safely preserved in ice. Who the fuck is playing 5D chess out here? Renowned genius that she was, there was a chance Da Vinci would realize the truth during the attack. If she had, she still wouldn't have been able to destroy Caldeus. But she could have caused it to malfunction, which would have delayed the plan. At the time, it was still possible to reshift to Caldeus itself. But Caldeus thought of that, which is why it let itself be encased in ice and pretended to stop functioning. Caldeus is a planet. Caldeus is another world. Worlds have consciousness. And it worked. You gave up on Caldeus and escaped to Antarctica in the Shadow Border. You decide to flee to the location of the true culprit. Of course, you were right to make that choice. If you had stayed at Chaldea Base, you would have all been killed. So far, every action you've taken has been correct. At least in terms of the test questions Marysbury prepared. You're saying Chaldea is to blame for all this? That the evil which must be defeated is us? No, you actually did save humankind when you took back its future from the incineration of humanity. That much you can and should be proud of. Chaldea may have caused all this, but that doesn't make you culpable. As far as human justice up to the year 2019 is concerned, you were the best possible crew anyone could have hoped for. Neither I nor Woodame would ever deny that, which is why I'll end with this. If you still want to stop what I've set in motion, and you manage to stop ORT, head to Antarctica. That is where your journey will end, where you'll finally part ways with your Grand Order. Okay, that's about everything I have to say. This is all stemmed from a pact I made with Kirshdaria. We never spoke of it, but we both knew we were thinking the same thing. That if either of us wound up being the last cryptor to try and defeat Chaldea, then we should tell all this to the people of Chaldea who stood against us. He jumped off so casually. There's so much to digest here. So much to digest. So, the original David died. He was killed by an angel relic that had an activation condition where nobody could be killed within a 20-kilometer radius for a day's time. When it activated, it completely atomized both David and his father, as evidenced by their shadows still on the floor. Except it reconstructed David, but altered him so that way he could somehow connect with whatever the source of the angel relic was, as well connect, communicate, and summon whatever the source of the angel relic was, as well as to, it also modified his memory. The angel relic was from beyond where the Big Bang was, 14.1. That's what I said. Nobody had... Oh, I said murder. I meant die. My bad. He called out there was two specific numbers pointed out in there. David said that the angel relic came... Or his thoughts were the angel relic came from somewhere that was flung far off in the Big Bang, about 14.1 billion light years away, or something like that. Marysbury only wanted to observe the observable universe to 13.8 billion light years. Per general science... I think this is still theory at this point. I'm not sure if it's been a proven fact. But the further you are away from an object in space, the more time dilation effect is in effect. So, in essence, something that is 14.1 billion years away would be seeing a different Earth than what we see now. So it is very possible that whatever sent the angel artifact saw an Earth where whatever Chaldeus' plan did take place or something. And so it sought somebody that could change this condition or something. That's not... I don't remember what exactly it's called, but essentially the further away you are from an object in space, the different time passes. Essentially what I'm theorizing is that whatever is 14.1 billion years away which is outside of the observable range Marisbury wanted, saw what the outcome of Marisbury's plan was, and decided to do something to stop it from happening. Thus, it sent the Angel Relic to Earth. I'm not saying time passes differently, I'm saying the way you observe it. The way that how we can observe stars in the sky, and there's a very real possibility that some of them burned out millennia ago or something. That's kind of what I'm theorizing here, is that whatever is 14.1 billion years away saw the outcome of Marisbury's plan, of whatever this Chaldeus intends to do, and sent something to Earth in order to stop it, understanding that it would be. Yes, that's the time light needs to travel. Welcome, I'm Maiden now. Welcome to the stream. Happy things, happy things. I hope you're enjoying the theory crafting here. Time light needs to travel to us. Yes, I know that's the time light needs to travel to us. I'm theorizing here right now because it's a commonly believed thing with a fair bit of support that when you observe things in space, you do not observe them at their immediate present. Hence the whole stars thing. The fact that the stars... Yes. Obviously, I misspoke when I said time dilation there, Mordred. But, so, current theory. I think I can lock this theory in as a solid theory to add on to all of my other theories here. I will say, though, I never called Chaldeus being a sentient thing as... That was not on my bingo card anywhere. Nowhere on my bingo card was Chaldeus being sentient. So, current theory for the progress of events that goes. Something at the time, 14.1 billion light years away, foresees the outcome of Marisbury's plan and sends an angel artifact to Earth. The angel artifact arrives at Earth knowing its goal is to find somebody that is capable of stopping Marisbury's plan. The angel artifact is found by David's father and taken for studying. In the interim 20-year time period, there is never a time when for a full day nobody in a 20-kilometer radius dies. However, David arrives on the exact time that it does happen to coincide, so perhaps whatever was 14.1 billion light years away foresaw that somehow, that David was the possible one. Regardless, the angel relic activates, completely atomizing David and his father. Somehow it also affects the memories that people had of them, as well as all records. Not sure on exactly how that's possible yet, but I digress. Weird alien magic technology BS. We'll just go with weird alien magic technology. David is reconstructed 0.2 seconds later, except it's sort of the teleportation issue where he was deconstructed at the molecular level, at the atomic level, and then reconstructed, except he now has a connection to the thing that is 14.1 billion light years away, and is able to communicate, observe, and call on help from this being, as evidenced by the angel artifacts that he summoned for our fight, or angel relics. I do not remember what they were called. He does not know his purpose, though, and the thing beyond what is observable, or the thing he has communications with, does not know exactly how what it sees comes to pass has come to pass. So David goes through life only able to remember 5 minutes of a day at a time, which, again, is pure nightmare material. Pure nightmare material. The amount of willpower you have to not go crazy from that is insanity. Although I suppose he very well could have gone insane and forgot about going insane. That's something to think about. Anyways, he eventually finds Marisbury and Chaldea and is told their goal. Marisbury specifically only wants 13.8 billion light years of observation, which would not fall into the purview of the 14.1 billion that David is able to communicate with. Hence why he knows that this is the thing that he needs to do. He needs to stop whatever Marisbury's plan is, and it involves Chaldeus. Chaldeus is apparently another planet that has a living consciousness that is meant to fulfill Marisbury's plan. That is what we have so far. We have no idea what the frick Marisbury's plan is yet, though. And David just jumped into a hole to revive ORT to put a stop to it. So I don't think we're going to be getting any more information on what the frick Maresbury is planning. Let's start the final arrow. Oh boy. That was a lore drop. Gosh, I'm going to be digesting this for a while. Also, it just occurred to me. We're about to face the itsy bitsy spider. Caldeus is a foreign planet. Guys, we can think about what all this means later. Right now, let's see what David told us aside. So, we need to get out of here. Come on. Wakchan's still waiting for us up above. I see none of this as a surprise, Da Vinci. 30.5 hours for him. That's terrifying. Yeah, that is pure terrifying. No, I'm as shocked as any of you, but I did get where he was coming from. Now stand up, Mash. You too, Soul. ORT's on its way here. It doesn't matter what Caldeus is up to right now, or who Maresbury really was. What matters now is the battle to keep the whole planet safe. You can't do that if you're standing around in a daze. Remember what David said? Chaldea may have caused all this, but that doesn't make you culpable. If you still want to stop what I've set in motion, head to Antarctica. He said that'll end our journey. That'll be the end of our journey, and I'm sure Krishtaria felt the same way. A year and 2 days is super good. Like I said, pure nightmare terror. Yeah, not even 2 days. Like, not even a day and a half. That is nightmare material. And he doesn't have the time to get mad? I mean, he might just not remember that he went mad initially. Even as they've said they worked towards their goals, they never said ours was wrong. This isn't about good or evil, or even obligations. It's about doing everything you can to fulfill the duties you feel you must. That's what it means to live, to fight. Now, do you want to stand around here with your hanging your heads? Of course not. Let's get out of here. Right, it's dangerous here, so you should head back to the safety of the 9th Stratum. Senpai, you help Director Ola Marie. I'll help Tenochtitlan. We are standing on top of ORT's head, by the way. Probably not. I can smell that dinner is getting done, so it will likely be tomorrow that I do the fight against ORT. Very likely it will be tomorrow, where we confront ORT. Welcome, Marie! Damn it, I can't regenerate my heart in time. What was that? Oh. All the more reason to have it be on one stream. It just captured Olga Marie. Oh shit. No. I've not seen the fight at all. Oh crap, now that it has her heart, ORT recognized her as its own part. If we don't do something, it's gonna absorb her. She's warning us to stay back. It's detecting a more enormous amount of radiation. That branch is emitting a massive amount of cosmic rays. Just getting close would give you a fatal dosage. So not even a summit can get near it, let alone a living creature. Then what can we possibly... Wakchan! Wakchan! No! Wait, no. Wakchan, do it! Save your waifu, Wakchan! I believe in you, man!
A branch is nothing. I eat branches for breakfast.
Wakchan. Kind of looks badass like that.
Man, that was a lot worse than I thought.
His eyes went blank.
Uh-oh. I'm real dizzy and everything's suddenly gone dark. Did I lose too much blood? Oh well, doesn't matter. You okay, Olga? Heard a nasty sound, so I hurried down here as fast as I could, and sure enough, things looked real bad, right? Well, that's what that branch gets for messing with my bride, even if she's out of my league. Hey, what is it? Say something. You asleep? I guess you are. That's okay. I'm kind of sleepy myself, and it's weirdly quiet around here. Ugh, weird. Can't talk really good. Must got something stuck in my throat. Nothing to worry about. I'll be right as rain once I've coughed it up. Before I do, I may as well say what I want to say. Came along with Soul's group because I thought I'd get to see you again. I've been worried about you ever since you left. Couldn't say what I really wanted to. Kinda makes me wish I'd become a priest like Tepeyu, instead of a warrior now. Still, I meant everything I said at the time. Can't see anything, but your color still shines bright and beautiful as a star. I'm glad I met you, Olga. Couldn't have asked for a more fulfilling life.
Huck-chan? Okay, I need to pencil it in. You, Olga Marie, is officially in the bottom area of the waifu categories. When the 2025 ranking comes up, she is only never going to happen because she is going to join the likes of Brynhilde, Kriemhild, in the not going to happen because she already has somebody that loves her. Can't believe it. I know Earthlings are evil. For years, decades, they dissected me. Kept screaming, I'm a person, I'm on your side over and over, but nobody ever listened. So why would anyone be so kind to me? Come on, Olga. We need to get out of here. I mean, technically most of the servants are as well, so...
No more talk. Surely you must have learned that by now, foreign god. Now that ORT has your heart, it has the upper hand. If you merge now, you'll end up subordinate to it. The time for what-ifs is over. You need to recognize that they have always been your enemies. There can be no reconciliation.
What, the whole, Earthlings evil, decades they dissect me, kept screaming I'm a person, I'm on your side over and over, nobody ever listened? Yeah, I caught that line. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, though, because I don't know if Caldeus was around for decades. I really don't know what to make of that line just yet, though. It's pretty sad, even though we were... Yes, we were about to add a 7th notch to our belt of genocide, though it could be argued we didn't really genocide the fairies. That could be argued. The alien? Right, the alien at the intro. Huh. It's a lot to digest, because it's a lot I need to think on. I will probably have a better idea of where to go, where all this is leading to tomorrow when I start streaming, but right now I need to finish this arrow and get some food in me, because I'm starting to get a headache. As well as just to digest everything, because this is a lot to digest.
I urge you to withdraw from this Lostbelt at once. It's time you go back to your home in Antarctica.
You, Olga Marie. Stop it. Don't come near me. Not with that frail human body of yours. You're right, Rasputin. It's not just my heart that damn ORT made up with 30% of my body. I need time to regenerate. I'm not about to spend it here watching the Earthlings breathe their last. I'm heading up to the surface. Come with me. Most of the Fae were vile, yes. Most of the Fae were vile. I can't remember the name of the fairy that managed to prevent himself from becoming a Moors, the little dwarf-like dude that was the bartender that Da Vinci was hanging out with. He was cool. Baobon was cool, you know, once you get her backstory in there. Woodwoes? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe Woodwoes. Maybe. And obviously Morgan. As was, Gareth. Who I also cannot remember who she was. She's like a reincarnation of somebody. That is one way to end Section 19. Section 20 is literally called ORT. Oh boy. Well, we will be checking out Section 20 and taking on ORT tomorrow. That goes for both YouTube and Twitch. Not sure. Oh, thank you, I Made a Now. Thank you for the follow. It is greatly appreciated. I hope to see you in tomorrow's stream. It will probably be... I am currently thinking maybe around either noon or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure which, but that is likely going to be when I stream tomorrow. It might be a bit later. I'm not sure just yet. But yeah, thank you for the follow. And thank you all for watching this, both here on Twitch and in the future on YouTube. Make sure to like if you want to show your support, and subscribe if you want to see just how this crazy story comes to a conclusion, as well as hear me babble on about theories as to what the fuck is actually going on here, because I'm sure I will come up with some in time. For now, though, thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoy. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.